This warning grows stronger now because the mistake you are about to make is not just about today, it is about the pattern you keep repeating, the pattern of knowing what you should do and still choosing what feels easier, and Archangel Michael's energy comes forward with clarity because clarity breaks cycles, and the cycle you are trapped in is the habit of postponing your own greatness. You keep waiting for a sign, for motivation, for the perfect mood, but the truth is the sign has already arrived. This message itself is the interruption in your routine, the pause before you fall back into the same old behavior, and you must understand that every time you ignore that pause you are teaching your future self that their dreams do not matter, and that is a heavy lesson to carry, because one day you will look back and realize you had everything you needed to change but you kept choosing not to, and that is a pain far deeper than any failure. And this is why Archangel Michael does not come softly here, because this moment requires honesty, not comfort, and the honest truth is that you are closer to a breakthrough than you think, but you are also closer to self-sabotage than you realize, because the moment before growth always feels uncomfortable, and your mind is trying to pull you back to what is familiar, even if that familiar place is keeping you stuck, and this message is telling you not to listen to that voice. Not today, because today carries a different energy, an energy of change, of movement, of a new chapter, and if you let this day slip away like all the others, you will feel that quiet disappointment again, that feeling of knowing you missed something important, and Archangel Michael's energy is here to stop that from happening, to remind you that you are not weak, you are just untrained, and training begins the moment you choose discipline over distraction, courage over comfort, and action over excuses, and if you do that today, even in one small way, this message deepens now because the mistake you are about to make is not loud or dramatic, it is quiet and familiar, and that is what makes it so dangerous because you have already lived this moment many times before where you felt the urge to change, the pull to grow, the whisper that today could be different, and yet you chose the same habits, the same distractions, the same comfort, and every time you did that you taught your future that it did not matter. And Archangel Michael's energy comes here, not to judge you but to wake you, because a sleeping warrior forgets their strength and you have been asleep to your own power for too long, and the reason life feels heavy is not because it is against you, it is because you are not aligned with who you are meant to be, and alignment only happens when action matches intention, and right now your intentions are big but your actions are small, and that gap is where frustration is born, and this message is a warning. Because that gap will only grow if you do not close it with discipline and courage, and you must understand that the universe does not reward what you wish for, it responds to what you consistently do, and today you are being offered a rare moment where awareness and opportunity meet, and if you ignore it you will feel that quiet regret again, that feeling of almost but not quite, and almost is the saddest word in a human life because it means you were close but you turned away, and Archangel Michael's sword is here to cut through the illusion that you can change later, because later is the lie that keeps people stuck forever, and the truth is there is only now, and now is asking you to choose differently, to stand up when you usually sit back, to begin when you usually wait, and to believe in your potential even when your fear is loud. And this is why this day can be wonderful, because a single courageous choice can redirect years of your future, and you do not need to do everything today, you only need to do the one thing you have been avoiding, and that one thing is the key to the door you have been knocking on inside your heart, and if you walk away from it again you will carry that weight with you, but if you step through it even trembling you will feel a freedom you have not felt in a long time, because you will finally Be honoring your own destiny, and Archangel Michael's energy stands with those who choose truth over comfort, because comfort keeps you small but truth makes you powerful, and power is not about control, it is about becoming who you really are, and that is what this message is calling you into right now before this day slips away and becomes just another memory of what could have been. This is another layer of the same warning, because some truths must be spoken more than once before they finally break through the noise in your mind, and the truth is that today is not ordinary. It carries a weight that you can feel even if you do not fully understand it, and Archangel Michael's energy surrounds this moment, because this is where a pattern can finally be broken or forever strengthened, and the mistake you are about to make is not something big on the surface, it is the quiet decision to go back to the familiar, to delay, to tell yourself it is okay to stay the same just one more time, and every time you do that you move further away from the life you secretly want and closer to a future that feels empty and heavy, and you already know how that future feels because you have tasted it in those moments when you feel bored, unmotivated and disconnected from yourself, and that feeling is not laziness, it is your soul crying out for growth, and Archangel Michael stands for the force that defends your higher self against the part of you that wants to stay small and safe, and that battle is happening inside you right now, and whichever side you feed with your actions today will become stronger tomorrow, and that is why this message is a warning, because the smallest choice today can decide the direction of years, and if you choose courage even in one small step, you begin a chain reaction that leads to a life of purpose, strength and clarity. But if you choose comfort again, you will feel that quiet disappointment again, the feeling of knowing you missed something important, and this day will pass and become just another memory of what could have been, and Archangel Michael's sword is here to cut through that fate, to remind you that you still have the power to choose differently right now before the door closes and the moment is gone forever. Beloved child, this is the moment in the story of your life where most people retreat, not because they are incapable but because they become afraid of the weight of their own potential, and Archangel Michael's energy stands here to tell you that the fear you feel right now is not a sign to stop, it is a sign that you are standing at the doorway of something meaningful, and every great transformation begins with this exact feeling, the feeling of uncertainty mixed with excitement and resistance, and the mistake you are about to make is to turn away from that doorway and return to what feels safe, even though it no longer satisfies you, and you already know how that path ends because you have walked it many times before, waking up with the same thoughts, going to sleep with the same regrets, and feeling that quiet sadness that comes from knowing you are capable of more but keep choosing less. And this message is here to interrupt that pattern, because you are not meant to spend your life escaping into distraction to avoid the discomfort of growth. You are meant to face the discomfort and use it as the fuel that builds your strength and discipline, and when you do that, something inside you changes, not overnight but permanently, because you begin to respect yourself, and when you respect yourself, your standards rise, and when your standards rise, your life begins to match them, and Archangel Michael represents that rise, the force that lifts you when you choose courage over comfort, and every time you choose to take responsibility for your time, your habits, and your future, you step closer to the version of yourself that you secretly admire. And this message is a warning, because no one is coming to save you from your own procrastination, no one is coming to give you discipline, no one is coming to live your life for you, and that truth can feel heavy, but it is also the greatest gift because it means you have the power to change everything starting right now, and that power is not found in motivation, it is found in action, because action creates momentum and momentum creates belief and belief creates the life you have been dreaming about. And the reason you have not felt like yourself lately is because you have been living below your potential, and your soul always knows when it is being underused, and that creates tension, frustration and restlessness. Instead of numbing that feeling with entertainment or comfort, you must listen to it because it is guiding you back to your purpose, and Archangel Michael's energy stands with those who listen to that inner call and act on it even when it is uncomfortable, because that is how warriors are born, not in ease but in challenge. And you are in a season of challenge right now, not because you are being punished but because you are being prepared, and preparation always feels difficult before it feels rewarding, and this is why you must not give up now, because what you are building inside yourself cannot be seen yet, but it is growing, and every time you show up when you do not feel like it, you are strengthening that unseen foundation, and one day it will become visible as confidence, clarity, success and inner peace, and you will look back at this moment and realize it was the turning point when you stopped running from who you were meant to be and finally started becoming them. And that is why this message is intense, because destiny is not gentle, it is demanding, and it demands that you rise to meet it. And Archangel Michael's energy is here to remind you that you are strong enough to answer that call if you are willing to take the first step today instead of waiting for a tomorrow that may never come. Child, this message moves deeper now, because what you are facing is not just resistance but the weight of your own unfulfilled potential, and Archangel Michael's energy is present because when potential is ignored it turns into pain, and that pain has been whispering to you through restlessness, boredom and dissatisfaction. And you may think you are tired because life is hard, but the truth is you are tired because you are not living in alignment with who you are meant to be. And the mistake you keep making is believing that comfort is the same as peace, when in reality comfort only numbs you, while peace comes from progress and growth. And every time you choose distraction over discipline, you are choosing numbness over meaning, and that is why you feel empty even when nothing seems wrong. And this message is a warning, because that emptiness will grow if you do not listen to it now, because your soul is designed to expand, and when it is trapped in routines that do not challenge it, it begins to suffer. And Archangel Michael stands as the guardian of your higher self, the part of you that knows you were created to build something powerful and not to fade away quietly. And that part of you is knocking on the door of your awareness right now, asking you to take responsibility for your time, your habits and your future. And responsibility is heavy, but it is also freeing, because when you accept responsibility you gain control, and when you gain control, you gain the power to change your life. And the reason fear feels strong right now is because fear knows it is about to lose its grip on you, and it will try to convince you to wait, to delay, to stay comfortable. But waiting is what has kept you stuck, and Archangel Michael's energy cuts through that lie, because the cost of waiting is far greater than the cost of trying. Because even if you fail while trying, you will learn, grow and become stronger. But if you never try, you will only collect regrets, and regrets are heavier than any failure. And you must understand that no one ever built a life they loved by avoiding discomfort. They built it by stepping into challenge and becoming disciplined enough to keep going even when motivation disappeared. And the version of you that you want to become is not built on inspiration, it is built on consistency, and consistency is built by choosing to show up when it is hard. And right now is one of those moments where you must choose whether you will Keep showing up for your old self, or finally start showing up for your future self, and this message is here to tell you that your future self is begging you not to quit, not to delay, not to go back, because everything you want is on the other side of the fear you are feeling, and Archangel Michael's presence represents the strength that is available to you when you decide to walk through that fear instead of turning away from it, and the moment you take that step, even if it is small, you will feel a shift inside you, a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are finally honoring your own destiny, and that confidence will grow into momentum, and that momentum will grow into a new life, and one day you will look back and realize that this was the moment everything began to change. This message reaches you now because a powerful turning point is right in front of you, and most people miss their turning points not because they are not chosen but because they hesitate, and Archangel Michael stands beside you in this moment, because hesitation is the doorway through which regret enters, and you have already spent too much of your life postponing what your soul has been urging you to do, and the warning in this message is not meant to scare you but to awaken you, because every day you delay stepping into your true purpose, you silently tell the universe that you are willing to settle for less than what you were created for, and that agreement creates a life of quiet disappointment that looks fine on the outside but feels heavy on the inside. And you must understand that the reason you feel restless lately is because your spirit knows you are meant for something greater, and that restlessness is not a curse, it is a calling. But when you ignore a calling, it becomes frustration. And when frustration builds, it turns into self-doubt, and self-doubt slowly erodes your confidence until you start believing you are not capable, even though deep inside you know you are. And Archangel Michael's presence brings clarity and strength to cut through that confusion, because you were never created to live a small silent life. You were created to bring light to the world in your own unique way, and the mistake many people make is waiting for the perfect time or the perfect feeling to start. But perfection is an illusion, and confidence is not something you wait for, it is something you build through action, and every small step you take toward your purpose weakens the voice of fear and strengthens the voice of your higher self. And right now your higher self is speaking loudly, telling you that the time to act is now, not tomorrow, not next month, not when things feel easier, because things will never feel easier until you become stronger, and you only become stronger by stepping into what scares you. And Archangel Michael is here to remind you that courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to move forward despite it, and when you choose to move forward you unlock a flow of guidance, opportunities, and inner power that has been waiting for your permission. And that is why this message is so important, because it is not just about motivation, it is about alignment with who you truly are. And when you align with your true self, everything begins to shift. The right people appear, the right ideas come to you, and the right doors start to open, and none of that can happen if you keep standing still. And so this is your moment to rise, to choose growth over comfort and destiny over distraction, because Archangel Michael stands ready to support you, but you must be willing to take the first step, and when you do you will realize that you were never alone, and you were never weak. You were only waiting for yourself to believe in your own power. This final message comes with a deep and powerful truth that you need to hear right now, because everything you have been working toward, everything you have been praying for, and everything you have been silently hoping for is closer than you realize. But the last test before a breakthrough is always doubt, and that is why you may feel uncertain or tired in this moment. And Archangel Michael's energy surrounds you now to remind you that doubt is not a sign that you are failing, it is a sign that you are about to step into something new and powerful, and the mind always tries to protect you from the unknown by creating fear, but your soul knows that the unknown is where growth and miracles live, and the mistake you must not make is turning back just because the path ahead feels unfamiliar, because every person who has ever created a meaningful life had to walk through uncertainty before they reached clarity, and you are no different. And right now the universe is watching to see if you will trust yourself enough to keep going, and this is where many people give up, not because they cannot succeed but because they underestimate how close they are to success. And Archangel Michael brings this warning because giving up now would mean abandoning all the progress you have already made, and even if you cannot see it yet, every step you have taken has been shaping you into a stronger, wiser, more resilient version of yourself, and that version of you is capable of handling the life you are moving toward. And you must believe that, because belief fuels action and action creates. This message feels so intense is because your spirit is ready to expand, and expansion always feels uncomfortable before it feels empowering. And Archangel Michael stands as a reminder that you are protected, guided, and supported even when you feel alone, and the moment you decide to keep moving forward with faith instead of fear, you activate a powerful chain of events that will begin to shift your reality in ways you cannot yet imagine. And one day you will look back at this moment and realize that this was the point where you chose to stop doubting yourself and start trusting the journey, and that choice will lead you to the life you were always meant to live. Beloved child, this is the closing of this sacred transmission, and it comes with a truth that must stay with you long after these words fade, because everything you have heard is not meant to remain as inspiration but to become transformation. And Archangel Michael's presence now is gentle yet powerful, reminding you that you are not here by accident, and this message did not reach you randomly, because the universe aligns moments like this only when a soul is ready to step into a higher version of itself. And the greatest danger you face is not failure but forgetting who you truly are, because when you forget your worth you accept less than you deserve, and when you accept less you slowly disconnect from your purpose, and that disconnection is what creates pain, confusion, and delay. But the moment you choose to remember who you are, you reclaim your power, and Archangel Michael stands as the guardian of that power, protecting your courage when fear tries to weaken it and strengthening your will when doubt tries to silence it. And from this moment forward you must move through life with intention, not drifting, not waiting, not hoping, but deciding, because your future is built by the decisions you make when no one is watching, and the discipline you choose when no one is forcing you, and the faith you hold when nothing seems to be changing. And this is the moment where everything shifts, not because the world changes but because you do. And as you walk forward from here you will begin to notice subtle signs, small victories, and quiet confirmations that you are on the right path, and those signs are Archangel Michael's way of reminding you that you are being guided even when you do not see the whole picture. And so take this message into your heart and let it become a promise to yourself that you will no longer shrink your dreams, silence your voice, or delay your destiny, because you were created to rise, to build, and to shine. And when you honor that truth, nothing can stop you. And this is where, beloved child, today truly carries the energy of a breakthrough, a moment where something you have been waiting for is closer than you realize. But this same day also holds a dangerous choice, because you are about to repeat a pattern that has already cost you too much. And Archangel Michael's energy comes forward now, not to scare you but to stop you, because one wrong decision made in weakness can delay your destiny for years. And the mistake you are making is not something dramatic on the outside, it is the quiet decision to choose comfort over courage, distraction over focus, and fear over faith. And you might think it does not matter, but it does. because every small choice is shaping the direction of your life, and right now you are standing at a turning point where one path leads to growth and the other leads back to the same old cycle, and this message is a warning because you have already been here before. You have already told yourself you would start tomorrow, that you would change later, that you would take action when the time was right, and every time you believed that lie, you stayed stuck, and today was supposed to be different. Today was supposed to be the day you finally stepped forward, but instead you are being tempted to fall back into the familiar, and Archangel Michael's energy is here to tell you that the familiar is not safe for you anymore. It is dangerous, because it keeps you away from who you are meant to become, and the reason you feel this tension inside your chest right now is because your soul knows you are about to make a choice that matters more than you think, and this choice is not about one moment, it is about the direction of your future, and if you choose to stay the same today, you will wake up tomorrow in the same life, with the same regrets, and the same unfulfilled dreams, but if you choose courage today, even in a small way, everything can begin to shift, because momentum is born from action, and Archangel Michael stands with those who move forward in truth, not those who hide in delay, and this is why this message feels urgent, because your breakthrough is close, but so is your old pattern, and only one of them can win, and the one that wins will be the one you feed with your decision right now. So do not make the mistake of walking away from your own destiny today. Do not choose distraction when you are being called to focus. Do not choose fear when you are being invited to grow, because today really can be the most wonderful day of your life, but only if you choose to rise instead of retreat.